Hello, people of the internet. It's been a while, I know. I've been working on a game that only took me 5 hours. Hey, what are you talking about? It took you 5 hours. You've been away for 2 weeks. Shut. In total, about 5 hours, but I had school, so I had to take like every weekend, barely any time, and then I had to go to school for another week, and then I had to work on it on the weekend again. So that's why it took forever. I was also working on another game too. It's on itch.io. You should. It's not done yet though, so don't play it. It's bad. Anyways, this is how I made my first mobile game in 5 hours. Now, to first explain how this game works, I'll let future me explain it because I forgot to explain it in the recording. So this is even future me explaining because I forgot to explain the first part. This game is about guessing a 4-digit number by using hints. Okay, so to explain how my game works, the black number right here is telling you how many numbers are correct and in the right spot, and the white number here is telling you how many numbers are correct but in the wrong spot. So if I just inputted 1, 2, and 3, it would say, so that means out of 0, 1, 2, and 3, only one of them is correct but it is in the wrong spot. First, I opened up Unity, made a new project, set it to 2D, and hit create. Next, I created a background, a UI canvas, and my buttons. Now, the way I created my buttons was by making the buttons. So first, I made the buttons symmetrical into squares. Then I added some text to the buttons to make arrows. Now, to make the arrows, I just I used the arrow bracket on the keyboard. Then I rotated it up 90 degrees so it would be pointing upwards. Enlarged it a little bit. And then with some magic and some Text Mesh Pro, we got buttons. I also multiplied it by 8 because we need 8 buttons for the game. Also, the buttons obviously needed numbers to change, so we added some digits. And a submit button. Also, because this is a game about finding the hidden numbers, I added some text to represent the hidden numbers. And then added a new number button. And there we go. We have all of our on-screen elements ready, and all we need to do now is just finish the coding. Or, do the coding. Now, I've already done all the coding, so I'll just explain what everything does. Skip to this timestamp if you're not interested at all. So first I added the using Unity Engine.ui and using Unity Engine scene management, so I'm able to edit my UI and edit the scenes within the script. Then I just created a bunch of text within the game, so I'm able to edit the UI elements from the script. I created black and white integers to show the values of the black and whites, added integers for the numbers you're editing, and added integers for the hidden numbers that you're trying to guess. Now in the start function, I edited the win text that we can see here. I added a bunch of spaces so the guess would end up in the middle of the screen instead of off to the side. Also in the start function, I set all of the hidden numbers to random numbers. The reason we do this in the start function is because it only happens on the first frame. Now to make sure all of the hidden numbers are different, I used a while loop. Now this basically means while or if a number equals the same to another number, it just randomizes the number once again, and it keeps repeating that until all of the numbers are different. Then I reference the text of the digits from the screen into the code, and then just set the digits from the screen to the digits in the code. Now to make sure my numbers don't go below 0 or above 9, I just use simple if statements to say if a number is below 0, set it to 9, or if a number is above 9, set it to 0. This makes it so all of our numbers that we can submit are always between 0 and 9. Now to make sure we can change our values of our numbers within the game, I added methods or I added functions that could edit the numbers. So if the up digit 1 function is called, it will increase the amount from the digit by 1 when the button is pressed. We can see this from the gameplay earlier. Now the submit function has a lot of stuff, and it all happens as soon as the submit button is pressed. First, it checks if all of the numbers you submitted are the same. If all the numbers that you submitted are the same, or if some are the same, like the second and fourth buttons, or the second and fourth numbers are the same, it will just tell you all the guess numbers have to be different. If all of your numbers are different, which means you did it correctly, it executes the long code. First, it resets the blacks and whites to 0, so they go back to 0 and they don't go above 4, because it needs to be accurate to give you accurate hints. We can ignore this. This is just telling me the hidden numbers in the console. This is just for testing out the game, making sure it works. To give you the correct hints, which is if the number is corrected in the right spot or corrected in the wrong spot, we have a bunch of if statements. Now, for the corrected in the wrong spots, or the blacks, it checks if the number you submitted is the same as the corresponding hidden number. If it is, it increases the amount of blacks by 1. Now, for the whites, it checks if the number you submitted is not equal to its corresponding hidden number. And if it is correct, then it won't do anything. But if they are separate, it will check now if they are equal to a separate hidden number. So as if the first number you submitted is equal to the second, third, or fourth hidden number. This will increase the whites by 1, and I repeated this for 4 for each of the numbers. For that, it will set the blacks and whites to the black and white text to the blacks and whites from the code, so you can actually see the hints on the screen. And then it also puts all your previous outputs to the side of the screen with this text box that I will show right now. And now to check if you actually won the game, it does an if all of the numbers are correct. So if the hidden number, if your first number is correct to its hidden spot, if your first number is correct and is the same as your corresponding hidden number, and the second number is correct to the corresponding second number, then if all of those are correct, then it tells you that you won, good job. And the game, I mean, you can still technically play, but the game is basically done and you won, and it sets the win text to great job. Now, to reset the game, all I added was a simple new number reset function. And what this does is it just resets the scene, so the game basically restarts. And that is the code. That's the whole code. Alright, so that is my full name. We're gonna blur that out, and let's open up the game. So we have to start guessing. I'm just gonna guess with a 1, a 2, and a 3. Let's see what we get. Okay, 2 of them are correct, which means I'm just gonna assume. Let's just say the 2 and the 3 are correct. So let's test out 4 and 5. Are these correct? Okay, that is news. I think something helpful. Let's just test. Was the 4 correct? The 4 was correct. Okay, we have all of our correct numbers here. Now we gotta switch their spots. I'm gonna switch these 2, and I'm gonna switch these 2. Okay, none of those are correct. So the 6 is in neither of these spots. It's in neither the first or second spots, and so is the 5. And 2 and 3 are neither. So we just gotta switch where they are. So I'm gonna put the 5 here, the 6 here, the 3 here, and the 2 here. Okay, 2 of them are correct, 2 are not. Let's see, is the 2 and the 3 the wrong one? Okay, that means the 5 and the 6 are the wrong spots. This should be the correct answer right here. There we go. So, yeah, that is the game. That is the game.
Okay, that was the end. That's the end of the video. Okay, bye.
Oh, also, the game has its own itch.io page, so go check it out. There's an Android APK download available, and also iPhone Xcode download, but the iPhone Xcode download is really complicated. There, in the description of the video, there also might be a Google Play link or an iPhone App Store link. If I ever do that, it costs money to put it on both of those things though, like $100 for Apple and $25 for Google. And I need money. I don't have that. So shut up. So go play it. I guess there's also a web version that's really garbage. We don't talk about the web version. Okay.